Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm working with Sarah. If you want to see the beautiful hair and makeup transformation, keep watching. So I've already placed the cap on the head and I'm going to be applying some got2b spray to secure that cap down. I'm going to be using the cap method today to secure the wig. Keep watching guys. I will be applying the wig and I'll be showing all of you guys the process and everything. Now I'm going to be applying the Ghost Bond lace glue, which I'll be placing just before the natural hairline on the wig cap to work together with the got2b spray. And I'm just going to be spreading that all over the front line and leaving it to dry. Now we're just waiting for the glue to dry. This process took a bit long, so I took the blow dryer and started blow drying the hair dry. The reason why this is a bit tedious is because you want to make sure that the glue is dry, so by the time you cut it, the cap doesn't move back and actually come off the glued section. So I wanted it to be much secure, and now that it's dry and I've cut it off, I'm now placing the wig on to where I'm going to glue it. So I'm bringing the wig forward and I'm just going to be placing it and creating some baby hairs and just placing the wig where I want it to be. Bearing in mind this wig has already been used, so I was just reconstructing it and bringing it together. And at the top there was some lace that was unnecessary, obviously because the frontal recedes over time. If you still want that clean look, it's best for you to cut the unwanted lace, which is what I was doing, and just placing the wig where I wanted it to be on top of the wig cap, where I also placed the glue. As you can see, the lace is slightly lighter, but that's no problem. I'm going to be fixing that later. I'd actually rather it be lighter than darker. Obviously we would rather anything that just matches, but just in case it doesn't, I'd rather a lace that's lighter than darker, because it's just easier to fix to your tone than bringing it up to your tone, if that makes sense. Nonetheless, I'm going to be doing the same thing to the other side, and I'm going to be making sure there's no unglued lace, which I am cutting off now. I'm just going to be making sure that everything is laid down before I start bringing hair forward for the baby hairs. Right about now, I already pulled forward the baby hairs that I was going to cut and lay, and the reason why I didn't show you guys this was because there was problem with storage, but I'm going to go straight into the makeup. First off, after wiping the face, I'm going to go straight in with some concealer and placing that all over the eyelid and preparing it for my eyeshadow. I'm applying the LA Girl concealer in the shade Fawn, and I'm going to be spreading that all over both eyelids. After briefly spreading that concealer, I'm just going to take my finger and evenly spread everything and make everything even, so there's just as much amount of concealer on both eyelids so that the eyeshadow is well blended. After letting that dry a little bit, I'm now going in with my black P. Louise primer, which I'm going to be evenly spreading all over the eyes, as you can see, and I'm just doing back and forth with the makeup brush to make sure it's evenly spread and there's not too much product. After blending that all out, I'm now taking my MAC pigments, and the shade will be in the description box below, and now I'm just going to be placing that all over the eyelid. Now, as applying these pigments, you can build up to add more color because you now have a base that makes fallout quite difficult, which is what I was doing. After some time, I was going in and building it up and adding more if I felt like it wasn't too pigmented, as I'd say. Yeah, because the first layer I applied did look nice, but I felt like I need to go in a bit more. So yeah, I'm just going to be applying that all over the eyelids now, and the look is coming together. We're going to go for like a burnt orange look, which I'll be mixing the eyeshadow later with the Morphe 3503 palette, so stay tuned guys. I'm taking the brown shade in the palette and I'm just blending the corners of the pigment where I've placed the pigment. Now towards the lash line, I'm going to be taking the darkest colour in the 3503 palette and applying it closest to the lash line. And now going over to the other side, I'm going to be doing exactly the same thing. Just blending that out to create a nice smoked look. With the eyeshadow now done, bearing in mind I'm going to be applying everything later, I'm now going to go in with my foundation, everything to do with the category face. I'm going to be spraying the face with some vitamin E spray after applying my L'Oreal Mattifying primer onto the face. I'm going to let that dry for about 5 minutes and come back and apply the foundation. With that dry, I'm going in with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter 430 shade, and I'm just going to be applying that around the face and going to be blending it. Now this is the normal method that I use, using a sponge to blend it out, but you could use a brush or you could use a sponge and a brush. The main objective is just to get a smooth base. With blending, always be assured to check the side profile areas. So for example, underneath the chin area, and when you look at the face from the side, if it's not blended, that's the first side you will see. So you just blend the ears. Obviously it's covered by the band at the moment, but I will do that after. And yeah, I will just blend underneath the chin area all over the face, so it's just one color. Now that I'm satisfied with the base, I'm now going to go in with my two concealers, Revolution and Toofaced. And in terms of ratio, there is more Toofaced than there is Revolution concealer. I'm going to put the shades in the description box below, and I'm just going to be using that to be placing in the T-zone area. This is going to be my main concealer. I'm going to use it to brighten up the face. I'm just going to do the same on the other side now. Apply exactly the same amount. I'm not trying to add too much, which is why I've applied some at the back of my hand and spread it out. That way it's easier not to pick up too much product at once. And I'm just going to be dabbing it on in the right areas, preparing to blend. I'm going to bring some residue of the concealer down, applying some on the lip and underneath the lip as well, so in the chin area. And I'm just going to be blending that out, and as you can see, the orangeness of the foundation is now fading as I've applied a yellow kind of concealer, which is now making it all one tone for her skin. So as you can see, it's gonna get better and better from here. I'm now blending out the edges to blend with the foundation. As you can see where the beginning and the end of the concealer is, I'm just getting my brush and smoothing that out, and I'm later going to go in with a brush, but for now I'm going to be using a sponge and making that as smooth as possible. I'm now going in with my brush to eliminate all the sponge marks that was left whilst I was blending. So I'm just going to be blending that in all areas underneath the chin, close to the neck. And now I'm going to take my Dark Deepest Mineralizing powder by MAC to use to set the face. And I really like this powder because I feel like it's very universal. It does apply to many shades of brown, and I also use this as a bronzer for the lighter shades. I'm going to take my powder and bronzer duo by Sports Effects, and I'm going to put it mainly in the T-zone area where I use my concealer. Now I'm taking my Morphe setting powder in the banana shade, and I'm just going to apply that underneath the eyes. Now I'm going to take my Ben Nye blusher palette and I'm going to apply it to the cheeks. I'm applying the rosy colour with some of the brown colour in the palette, mixed together with my Sports FX bronzer to create a nice blush colour. And in case you guys forgot, I installed a wig on Sarah and turned her into this.